welcome to Story Time with Dudley and Miss Karen. This is Dudley. I'm Miss Karen. I'm the Children's Librarian at Oakmont Carnegie Library, and it's nice to be back. And I have some school themes that we're doing. Right, Dudley? You helped me pick out these books. This is a fun math book, but he doesn't like beans, so he's just going to go. This is called Bean 13. And if you've watched Science with Stuff at Home, this is very much how Mr. Matt and I cook dinner. Looks very much the same as this scenario. It was a warm summer night. Ralph and Flora were picking beans for dinner. "How many do we have?" asked Flora. "Looks like 12, said Ralph. "I'll pick one more," said Flora. "Don't do it," shouted Ralph. "Why on earth not?" said Flora. 13 is an unlucky number. Do you agree? Is 13 an unlucky number? "Everyone knows that," said Ralph. "You're being silly," said Flora. "I am not," said Ralph. "You are too," said Flora. "Are not, are too," said Flora. "Am not," said Ralph. At home, Ralph and Flora spread the beans out on the table. They made 2 piles, one for each of them. Each pile had 6 beans. "Oh, look," said Flora. "There's one left over. You take it, Ralph." "Bean 13, gasped Ralph. "Never. It's bad luck." "Ralph," said Flora, "please don't make a fuss." "I'm not eating it," said Ralph, "and you can't make me." "I have an idea," said Flora. "I'm not eating it," said Ralph. Flora called their friend April. "April, would you like to come over for dinner? We're having beans." "I don't understand," said Ralph. "We're only going to feed April 1 bean?" "Of course not," said Flora. "We'll make 3 piles." Ralph and Flora separated the beans into 3 piles. Each pile had 4 beans, but there was still 1 bean left over. "Bean 13, said Ralph. "I told you." "That is odd," said Flora. "Let's invite Joe, too." "And make 4 piles, added Ralph, "so it's fair. So do you think if they take 13 beans and divide it into 4 piles, they will work out evenly? What do you predict?" So they have Ralph's, Flora's, April's, and Joe's. But when they made 4 piles, there was still 1 bean left over. "I don't understand," said Flora. "I do," said Ralph. "Bean 13 is trouble." "It's just a bean," said Flora. "I'll call Meg. We'll make 5 piles." "You think that you can divide 5 by 13 evenly? What do you predict?" "This better work," said Ralph, as they separated the beans into 5 piles. Each pile had 2 beans. This time, there were 3 beans left over. "It's getting worse," gasped Ralph. "Don't panic," said Flora. "I'm calling Rocco. He eats everything." We all have that one friend, don't we? But something still wasn't right. "Why does Rocco get 3 beans?" complained Ralph. "That's more than everybody else." "Well, we could give him 2, said Flora, but..." What should they do? "But what?" said Ralph. "Never mind," said Flora. "Tell me," said Ralph. "But what?" "It's just that we'll still have an extra bean," said Flora. "I'm really not sure why." "Lousy bean 13, cried Ralph. "I can't stand it." Ding dong went the doorbell. "Our guests are here," shouted Ralph. "What are we going to do?" He jumped to his feet, he bumped the table, and the beans went everywhere. "Oh, Ralph," said Flora. "What a mess." "Sorry," said Ralph. "Here," said Flora, "take this bowl, gather up the beans, I'll get the door." "Hello, everyone," said Flora. "I'm so happy you could come." "There are fresh beans in a bowl on the table," said Flora. "Please help yourselves." The bugs sat down to eat. "Does everyone have enough?" "It's perfect." "You bet." "Just right." "Absolutely." "Me too." "How strange." Dinner was great fun, but at last it was time for the bugs to go home. "You have to admit," said Flora, "that worked out perfectly." "It did," said Ralph, "but I'm confused. What happened to bean 13? Flora shrugged. "Somebody ate it." "But who?" said Ralph. We'll never know, said Flora. Maybe April, maybe Rocco, maybe me, maybe even you. The end.